Hi Nervana, great job with these. I'm really happy to see that you have been writing essays for your IELTS preparation. And not only that, but that you have decided to get some feedback for them. It's really so important because after a certain point, we can only progress with our IELTS preparation if we get feedback to see where the weak spots are, where maybe we need a little more help or support. So good work. Let's get right into this. Okay, this is the enjoyable activity with a child, okay, compared to reading. So let's get right into this. Whereas some individuals believe that sharing a child and amusing activities is more creative than reading, others believe that by reading, a child could attain more bargains. I firmly agree with the first camp. This essay will declare my stance, supported with some reasons and examples. I'm reading words that aren't even there. Okay, so basically, the idea behind this is very good. It's very correct and appropriate, but there's lots of stuff happening with your grammar that we really need to look at. So I wouldn't have started a sentence with whereas, but I might have started it with the word while. So instead, it should read, while some individuals believe that sharing an amusing activity with a child, so you have to change a few things here, is a more creative way than reading. Others believe that, no comma, by reading, you don't even need this comma either, by reading, a child could attain more benefits, not bargains, but benefits is the word you want. I firmly agree with this latter view because you had two views. You agree with the second one. So you could say, I agree with this latter view. This essay will declare my stance supported by some reasons and examples. Okay, so you can see throughout the whole paragraph there were some issues that needed to be resolved. Okay, next paragraph. Practicing some interesting activities with one's offspring, such as sports, could stimulate children's physical well-being. I know lots of people that are looking for a synonym for children, and lots of people also tend to use the word offspring, but really it's not the best word. I mean, offspring is what we think about when we think about the babies of animals. So it's like, for example, the lamb tended to her offspring in the field. Okay, so it's not really something we commonly use with human beings. Just, try to use youngsters, young people, young ones, the young children. These are other alternatives so that you're not monotonous with the vocabulary you use. All right, so going back to this first sentence, practicing some interesting activities with one's children, such as sports, could stimulate their physical well-being. See, so you didn't really have to repeat children's all the time. There are other ways to do it. This is clearly because playing a sport game, not sportive, this is something in like European languages usually. There's some sort of adjective about this, but playing a sport really is how we would say it's in English. Within a group encourages children to learn practically teamwork. All right, now check this out. Grammar rule. Learn is your verb, and then you have your object, teamwork, spirit. So you never separate your verb from your object. These need to go right next to each other, so you have to remove practically and put it somewhere else. So let's talk about the alternatives to practically. Encourage children to learn teamwork practically. Now, I took out the word spirit because you can either say team spirit or you can say teamwork, but you can't say teamwork spirit, all right? So, and prevent altruism. Why would we want that? Altruism is actually a very good thing where you think about other people and you care for them. So you don't want to prevent it. You want to foster it. You want to support it. So I'm a little confused about this. Okay. For example, a recent study here, you need the, where am I? Here I am. A recent study by British Sporting Council has declared that playing sports with children builds healthier habits and relationships between the parents and their descendants healthier, yes, than just reading. Fine. Therefore, it could be acknowledged that if parents share a cheerful time with a child in sport, it will possess more merits. Careful. We never talk about human children as it. It's always he or she. And it's okay to use he or she or even they in an IELTS essays. All right. You should usually err on the side of being grammatically more conservative. But if it's something that is typically recognized as standard by an native English speaker, then you should be okay. Okay. So, okay, the other thing I want to mention about the sentence, so he or she will possess more merits than their counterparts. This is awkward here, of the reading proponents. I mean, there's a better way to say this naturally in English. Take some risks, see if you can make it sound a little better. I know what you're trying to say, but grammatically, it doesn't really cut the mustard, basically. Okay, so let's keep moving. Likewise, parents accompany their children regularly to the theater to watch interesting live performances, such as, don't forget the such here, it's necessary to show that this is an example. Okay, here you wanted an ing, so it should read like this. Likewise, parents accompany their children regularly to the theater to watch interesting live performances, such as Muppet shows, adding more value to their children's morals than reading. Why is this an ing here? Because essentially it's acting like a participle. So by adding, because they add, okay, so it has this kind of a meaning here. So you really need an ing. This is due to the fact that plays convey vivid stories which are rapidly absorbed. Yeah, because it's plays. So make sure your nouns match and your pronouns. Okay, for instance, the American Association for Child Psychology announced a study, which, you're missing a relative pronoun here, so it announced a study which said that learning through children's beloved characters in theater would be 2 times more likely to be significant than reading books. Consequently, if parents are keen to develop their children's intellect, they would use the theater education method. I would not have put an apostrophe S here. Education and theater education are inanimate objects, and so we would never put a apostrophe S after them. Okay, and to conclude, reading, despite being beneficial, has proven to be inferior to something else, inferior to doing an enjoyable activity with children. It is advisable in the future that more targeted parental awareness programs will be needed in order to seize every opportunity to share leisure activities with children perfectly. So you really needed to change the word order around here. Okay, so we spent quite a bit of time on that. So let's go straight into your second essay, which is basically, should schools be entertaining or should they just educate? All right, and this is another, what do you agree with? Let's see what you had to say. All right, so whereas some individuals argue that schools need to improve their conventional educational function and incorporate some amusement activities to the curriculum, others believe that schools should keep their genuine function of education only. Okay, it's fine. I totally agree with the first camp, as schools prepare the next generation for the future, either scientifically or psychologically. This essay will declare each camp's stance, supported with reasons, supported by here. Reasons and examples from recent studies. Okay, now, I see a lot of similarities between this and your first introduction. You might have noticed that I didn't really correct some of these things here. I said, okay, let's let them go. Like things like the first camp. Okay, it's fine. So let's just move on to something. Let's move on to the second body paragraph and see what you wrote. Okay, so firstly, some people believe that schools should be renovated and new learning methods need to be entitled inside schools, such as learning about computer games, music, theater, and targeted occupational activities. Okay, 2 vocabulary mistakes here. Renovated is not what you want. You want to say they need to have innovation, they need to be remodeled, they need to be overhauled, you could have also said. but not renovated, which is really what we use to talk about buildings. And also this here, entitled, is wrong. You would want a different word here. That is because the schools are in need of attracting students. When you have in need of, you need to say attracting, ing students, and offering. I don't really know why you're saying this here, to be honest with you. Maybe you want to say that is because schools need to attract students and offer pleasant learning media. For example, a recent study, careful here, from Harvard University showed that utilizing extracurricular activities by certain educational facilities in the USA, helped, no need for a capital, to prevent the school dropout phenomenon. It's one phenomenon, so please put a "the" in front of it. Therefore, if schools didn't add entertainment to solid school subjects, it would result in remarkable value and performance of the students. Okay. Secondly, some traditional individuals believe that the genuine function of schools is to offer students educational subjects such as, don't forget the such, science and math only. That is due to the fact that other interesting activities could be obtained outside the schools in other facilities such as clubs. For instance, a survey done by some schools revealed that the rate of private tuition increased as a result of devoting most of school time to practicing. You're devoting time to practicing activities and hobbies. Consequently, parents complained of the high financial burden. Thus, it was justifiably thought that schools should concentrate on, here instead of in, you should say on their official roles only. Okay, so essentially you're saying that, I'm really kind of confused here actually, because check this out. So you're saying here that if they add these kind of entertainment things, it would lead to remarkable results, value, and performance, you said. Here, wait a second. Okay. So you agree with this, you disagree with this. All right, now let me explain to you why I'm having problems here. So basically you said that you agree with this idea that, hold on, let me go up here higher. You're basically saying that schools should add interesting activities. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm reading at the same time as I'm recording this, so sometimes it gets a little hairy. All right, so essentially what that means is that you agree with this paragraph. What that also means is that you don't agree with this paragraph. So what that means is that the order of your paragraphs is wrong. You always put the side that you don't agree with first and the side that you do agree with second. Okay, it's just a convention of essay writing. Let's see where we left off with this. Okay, so now the conclusion. To conclude, although schools in general, although schools should prepare students to be future professionals, I find my stance in favor of incorporating entertainment I think it should be hand in hand with other subjects. In the future, more initiatives will be needed from the authorities to implement pleasant educational systems. All right, nice job. Obviously, there were some mistakes here. I want you to now correct them. Add the errors to your error correction list, and send me new essays within the next day or so you can really implement all the things that you've been learning. I hope you enjoyed this feedback. So basically, I will be keeping my eyes out for more essays from you. So good luck and keep on writing.